back after a devastating loss for Astralis. They grinded their best, tooth and claw, tooth and nail, but weren't able to get it done. And Liquid do pick up the first map, as we suggested they had to do, because up next, it's Astralis and it's Overpass.
Absolutely. Quite a scary prospect, but Astralis not really looking their best. Remember, they won both pistols there on Mirage and did look shaky throughout it, especially in that second half. They did have a bit of resurgence towards the end, but wasn't quite enough. And a 5-on-2 deficit is where Liquid closed things out. That was absolutely insane. And we are moving to Overpass. A lot of people saying that this is a lock-in victory for Astralis. I wouldn't say that so much. This hasn't been the best looking Astralis we've seen so far, but they certainly are the favourites going into this one.
I definitely would agree with that, but you have to question, does that narrow loss play into their minds right now? It's getting into the latter stages of the evening.
Yeah.
These players, they've dealt with issues like this before, let's be honest. At one point, they always struggled to get to the latter stages of events. They struggled to get over the finish line. Is this going to be a mental block?
I think it will definitely have some knock-on effect, the fact you lost it in such a devastating manner. But there it is, 5-on-2, you're going to have to forget about it. This is your favourite map, and we'll see if they can convert things to get themselves onto a third.
Well, don't forget, guys, if you want even more CORSAIR DreamHack Masters, you can get the DreamHack Digital Pass for a multi-view experience. Highlights and exclusive content by going to the link on the screen right now, the bottom left, as you can see. So definitely head over there for all that goodness.
Yeah, I'll be doing that myself when I finish casting, perhaps. I'm going to get the full experience tomorrow when the Creamy Bears are in session. And we're going to be seeing what the second map brings. Could be closed out by Liquid. We will find out. It seems quite jovial still over in the Astralis camp. You can see it's cash to decide. Well, I feel like that's where Team Liquid had the upper hand. I don't think I've really been convinced by Astralis' cash. They managed to get some good results in it, but overall, I've cast a lot of them on the line, especially, and it seems like a map where they are very streaky on. They can sometimes be very good with players like Dupree, winning lots of rounds for them. He's very good at getting touches on that particular map, but overall, it seems like there's a bit of weakness in their pool. But we won't move on to that just yet. We'll see if he even gets there. There's the odds on your screen right now. You can see it's a very close affair. Team Liquid slightly favoured, in fact, after winning the first map, I assume. So they all sat down now, getting ready. We are still in the backstage area. We move on to the stage tomorrow, I believe, Vince, which will be a lot of fun.
It's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be very exciting. Just a shame that G2 won't be playing a part, as you mentioned earlier. Obviously, neither of these teams will be eliminated after this game. They do get another chance. Yep. They go into a lower bracket. So it's not all over. It's not all doom and gloom. But of course, you better believe both teams want that easier path across.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like we are ready to get into the second map of our final best of 3 of the evening. I can see the buys coming in. We'll start to break it down. Can Liquid close it out 2-0? A lot of people don't seem to think so, but they've been a surprise package all week long. 2 indeed, and 3 sets of armor from Astralis. A more technical approach in terms of utility. 2 smokes, molotovs, flashbangs. Suggest they'll go towards B, and we'll see if that rings true. As it's quite an aggressive push from Liquid towards the top of middle. They might be going towards T-spawn. Time will tell.
Smoke has just been deployed by Glaive. 2 flashes will be following it up. Also has a decoy. And then we're going to move into B. Bomb in hand. Setting up for the retake are Liquid. They're okay to concede the bomb plant, but they need to keep their players alive. Nitro going down is going to do them no favors. Magisk and Dupree able to take some ground for themselves, get up close, get a crossfire established. This is looking tailor-made for an Astralis round now. No nades to pierce back onto the site with either for Liquid. It's going to have to be raw fragging power. Dupree can hear the footsteps to his right side. Not required to pick up either kill because Glaive's going to go and do the double. But Taco and Twist, they're getting themselves back into this round. Dupree close-lining Twist, though, not allowing him to use that higher ground to his advantage. And Taco caught between the remaining straggling terrorists. This round is done. He doesn't have enough time.
Yep, no kits and still 2 kills to find. Gets one of them. That's an extra $300 for himself, but he goes down with the bomb. Good stuff from Astralis. Like I said, that detailed tactical execution with the Molotov, the 2 smokes, flashbangs going in. Looked like it could turn around at one point with the kills coming in from Twist and Taco and indeed Elige. Glaive stepping up tremendously with the double frag there as we get into round number 2. That's just what Astralis needed. Remember, they won both pistols in the first map, and they've done it again. So 3 out of 3 so far. Not a single rifle purchase for Astralis. We did talk about this earlier. Some teams trying this out recently. I'm not a fan. The UMP is safer than the MAC-10, I would say, but you usually want to have maybe 1 or 2 AKs just to give you that range if required. Alish has the scout, and there's a ding towards him. 3, but one that's answered back by Magisk.
All about the submachine guns, all about the flurry of firepower. Nafly, though, from behind will strike onto Magisk. They'll try and pick up his fallen weapon, but all they're going to find is a CZ for themselves. Ali's going to get smoked off. That scope wasn't too far away with the scout, but as soon as that shot missed, that pretty much was the round going with it. So they want to save these weapons. They want to come back into the next round with the same. Could do some damage maybe in round 3 if they retain all 3 of them. Nitro playing aggressively. In terms of Astralis, they're going to be picking up the pace and pushing in. This is one of the perks, I guess, of having SMGs. If you do lose a player or 2, it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely, that's a good point, and that was well held by Astralis. Dupree getting challenged towards short at the very start, got backed up by Magisk, though. He gets the 2 frags, only 2 frags picked up by Astralis. 3 will survive Team Liquid. Oof, Alish got 1 towards the end there, right in the last second. Took down Device, so he'll keep his scouts. Nafly keeps the CZ. Same story for Nitro. Naf has got armor as well. Round number 3 coming in. Still a slight chance Team Liquid can cause an upset here. I say slight. We'll see if Alish can find any more kills with that lesser sniper rifle. Astralis known to have some of the best executions on the team side of Overpass. Grenades to the face of Alish. That'll send him packing. And his dreams of getting opening pick swiftly shut down, I would say.
They have turned into nightmares. 27 health left. Trying to see if one of these CZs can maybe spark a pistol revolution, but at the moment, pretty much going the way that Astralis would want it to. They're dictating the pace of the round. Sure, Nitro's got up close with his CZ, but he's about to get sideswiped. Not even required. Glaive through the air. Well, dispatch of him. Alish, courtesy of his 27 health, hasn't been able to play aggressively either, knowing that just a couple stray bullets from any of these weapons will finalize his life. So pretty smooth sailing for Astralis. Yeah,
I absolutely agree. This looks like a bit of a lock-in at this point. Alish will play above the smoke boosted in CT, but doesn't look like he'll get much done here, I'm afraid. Try and spam through the smoke, but try as they might, no kills picked up as of yet. Major's having a bit of a rampage here, trying to make a convincing case for a 3rd map. They've got the 3-0. Nice shot from Dupree to finish things off there, so well played. Looks like we've got a bit of a distance to go yet. Team Liquid will bring out the AWP for the first time in the hands of Nitro, who actually looked very proficient with the AWP on Mirage. Can he replicate the form? That's another question altogether. Astralis with a bit of a bonus round here. They've got 2 AKs and 3 SMGs, one of which is a MAC-10. That's in the hands of Device. We'll see if he can make that work. And look at the situation with Team Liquid. 4 players without helmets against those SMGs. That's actually very dangerous. And that's why Astralis might have a slight upper hand in terms of their mobility. And the kill rewards coming in from those SMGs, this could be fantastic for them.
Yeah, certainly. They're in that range of the submachine guns. Astralis moving in slowly but surely. No kits on the side of Liquid either, so if they do concede a bomb plant, that could be the go-ahead for a save. Watch this space, because B is being aggressed on, and the flashbangs are perfect. Glaive with 2 headshots, living up to the SMG danger that we highlighted earlier. And as good as Nitro was in that first map, hasn't had a chance to be impactful here at all.
Well, that's the bomb down. Good grenade thrown by Naf. 3 on 2 now, and yes, those SMGs just tearing through the unarmored heads of the defending B players. And it's up to Naf and Nitro now. They might want to consider just saving the M4 and the AWP. They've got no kit and 3 kills to find. But Device is on the prowl. He's coming in the back lines. He could cause a lot of damage here.
Oh, Nitro, rest in peace. The question is, MAC-10 bullet or knife? And knife will prevail for the money.
He takes the AWP away, but Unfortunately, Nafly will take him down in the end, but it is the round for Astralis, and plenty of money injected there for Device. 1,500 bucks for that knife kill. Takes the AWP out of one player's hand. Nafly does pick it up in the end. 4-0 Astralis. Go off. Can he keep it? Can he keep it? It looks like he will. Almost got snatched away there. Device going to be happy with that. Plenty of cash for him. Such a huge round. You can see exactly what we were talking about. Going towards B, those heads are just popping with that UMP. That's why it's such a cool thing to have. The bonus round. If the CT's forced by that second, it's such a great play to keep your SMGs and see what's available to you. Nafly keeps the AWP. Always a chance with that weapon up. And I'll have CZ around him as they look for maximum loss bonus next round. That's indeed if he doesn't deliver. We will see. There's always a chance. He'll be positioning towards the B bomb site, but looks like he'll be falling back at this point.
Nafly holds on to the AWP with his Kevlar. No glass cannon shenanigans just yet. Does leave the rest of the team pretty bare. 3 CZs and a Deagle. Astralis very passive, trying to play the anti-eco. Nitro, though, is going to get a bit feisty through connector. It's more of an intel gathering mission than trying to get around the back of them just yet. It does allow them to put more of their defenses over on the B site as a result, though. So we're Astralis about to walk into this trap. 3 players here already. With Nitro coming around the back, this affords them the opportunity to stack it. That's really only half the problem, though. As a result of the lack of firepower, Nafly's got in for 1, but that's all she wrote. Elise with one of his own, and maybe Nitro can pounce from Monster. A couple players alone, one of which is Dupree in his sights right now. There's one, and a second he's got the bomb out. Can he get a third? No. That's a lot of damage inflicted across to Astralis.
Certainly had a chance to do something with that. Gets 2 kills, but only a couple of bullets in the clip. Couldn't convert it to a third. Very good attempt from Nitro, but unfortunately that's a round that won't be successful. Pretty much all he could do with that one, Vince. He couldn't have done that any more successfully, really, unless he gets like a perfect 1-bullet headshot there. The aim was there, really, but obviously not every bullet's going to connect. And to get into round number 6 here, Nitro back on the AWP. Great start from Astralis. 5-0 on the T side of Overpass. Their map, and likely to take it at this point. Liquid already had a response, but one of their first real gun rounds here. The AWP's out, the rifle's there, defuse kits, and should be pretty standard gun round here. No SMG. Tomfoolery going on as Taco pushes from the Monster. Does get one. That's Glaive, but instantly replied by Zipex, and that's going to give Astralis the upper hand, in fact.
Shows how easily Astralis has been coasting to this 5-0 scoreline. That was Zipex's first kill. Yeah. He just hasn't been required so far, and it's not as if he's been dying a bunch. He's only died 1 time. So you're just seeing how top-heavy this has been so far on Overpass. Dupree, that's a lot of information gathered. I think he saw 2 players. Oof. That's a bit of noise, though. It's going to give the position away. Nitro with the AWP once more. Answering the question somewhat that you posted to me earlier on about the AWP situation with Liquid. Yeah. I think he's been holding his own so far.
I think so, especially Mirage. He looked fantastic, but obviously this map will be indicative of his overall performance as well. We'll see what this will bring him. He's going to be very important here. They're coming towards the A side of the map. There's going to be 20 seconds remaining in Nitro. Smoke's raining in from above. Has to try and hold them off, and this becomes very difficult for you. You can see why Astralis considered a very good Overpass team. Elise to go up with the M4, but taken straight back down by Magisk.
10 seconds left, though, Henry. They've got to get the bomb planted right now. Nearly gets denied by Nitro. Not quite in the perfect placement through the smoke. Can't blame him. But as a result, the bomb plant, Astralis quickly scurry away. Back into bathroom, back into long, respectively. Nitro. Toss in his flashbang, go for a peek with his M4. They need this to yield a kill, and Devices denied it from long range with his AWP. Gets traded out by Twists, who already has half a mind to back out. They don't have a smoke to shield the defuse. So they are going to make the right decision, but it's going to sting because that puts Astralis at 6-0 now.
It absolutely does, and Nitro did absolutely everything he could. You're right, you can't really blame him too much there. That was just a last-minute Hail Mary to try and stop that bomb going down. They couldn't actually hold off the brilliant execution there from Astralis. Pretty textbook stuff. Wall of smokes coming in just completely neutralizes Yorba. He can't do anything then. He even wants to get rid of it. I think Elise was going to boost him up originally. He's like, no, you go up with the rifle. He got plucked off straight away. Nitro throws the AWP down. They can't deny the plant. And it will be 6-0 as Zeus does not look happy. He'll be chiming in at this point with a tactical timeout, working out what's exactly going wrong here. Why aren't they posting any rounds whatsoever? It's not that the rounds have really been that competitive, Vince. One of them came down to a situation where it came down to like a 1v1, but that round there, 2 players survive on either side, so they do bring over some weaponry. The AWP and the M4, I think they haven't purchased much more than that, but they begin to now. 6-0. This is pretty much exactly what the analysts expected so far.
And it's good to see as well, from a neutral's perspective, that Astralis haven't buckled under narrowly losing that first map. They've came straight out, right out the blocks, 6-0, confident, brilliant overpass T-half so far. So just what Astralis fans were hoping for. Bit of damage has been inflicted to both Twists and Liege. Just shy of 40 between the two of them. Very B-centric though, Astralis stacking all 5 players in this vicinity, and Liquid starting to realize that's going to be the case. They don't have anyone in connector, which could be a question mark, but in terms of Fountain, in terms of Long, they know no terrorists are present, and now with the smoke and the flashes starting to rain in onto the site, their worst fears have been realized. Astralis are here, they are taking names, they are taking headshots, and more importantly, they're going to take the bomb and plant it on B. And this round's done.
It's a bloodbath out there. There's nothing. They're not even putting up a fight right now. No damage inflicted, Vince. Nothing at all. Dupree just ravishes them. Goes into the B site. Little execution there. Taco and Twist can't do anything. And we'll just reiterate, for anyone who doesn't maybe follow the scene as closely, Taco has just been brought in the last couple of weeks or so to this team. They've had 5 days practice at Legend. That's what he told me. I always add an extra few days on that. Always trying to feel a bit sorry for themselves, you know. But it's still, like against Astralis, who have been together this core a long time and very well drilled in this map, there are going to be some holes in their defense, and trying to find that synergy between Twist and Taco, the B side for example, is going to be difficult, you know. And great first map from them, managed to claw back from a 5-2 deficit in the final round, but Dupree delivering the goods there. 7-0. Money's still okay for Liquid. They keep surviving with 1 or 2 players in the forefront. There's Twist getting absolutely bodied by Dupree. Lovely shot. He's not looking phased from that loss on Mirage, is he?
And he was one of the quietest players on Mirage too, on either side. So it's great to see him stepping up and fragging out. 7-0, sure, the economy is affording them sort of partial buys here and there, but they need the currency of rounds, Henry. That's what's been eluding them. And the longer this unbeaten score goes on for Astralis, the worse it gets for Liquid. And to make matters worse, they've lost the AWP. Nitro's gone down alongside Taco and Nafly. Add a Liege into the mix, and all you have left is Twists. Bomb salvageable for the terrorists. Twists making a move over onto the A site, where he may very well be able to defend against this push, but unfortunately from his perspective, he's deciding to go through short side of bathroom just as they're pushing long.
3-on-1, 8-0, almost guaranteed. Twists, CZ in his hand. Not really sure what the plan's going to be here. If you can get 1 kill and AK and save that, it would be something, but you can see they're almost anticipating his every move there. Zipex might go down to CZ and actually manages to hold him off. 8-0. Not looking too good here. Liquid will have money once again. Do they go for a double AWP setup perhaps? Try and change things up. Or just 5 rifles. Nitro is on 3 and 6. So yes, he did look good with the AWP and Mirage. It's not really delivering here. It's still quite early days. They can come back and still make this a 9-6 half, for example. They could start to find their footing, and obviously Zeus has rallied them up now with the timeout. We'll see what he brought to the table. I'm going to follow Nitro at the very start and see whether he does go for the early pick. So we'll go towards middle, double nade the steps. They're not going to be too effective actually. And there's one player pushing toward that smoke. That's a Liege. And in terms of the overall complexion of the round, very default from Astralis. Nothing really being forced right now, but hello, a Liege. He'll have a bit of a knife. There we go. Mr. Stabby does take down device, and wasn't quite the bomb, but he gets so unscathed, and there's no response whatsoever.
I believe that's the 3rd knife that we've casted today.
Yep, I think you're right.
It's been a bloody old affair. Astralis conceding the first kill. Not for the first time, though. That's only part of the task at hand for Liquid. They need to convert the rest. Well, look at all those nades. It's raining nades onto the site, but none of them are really landing. It's only half the issue, though. Because following those nades will be Molotovs, will be smokes, will be flashbangs. And Astralis are going all in on this. They have no one in connector. For all they know, someone's in there. They're going to have to go quickly. And it's up to Taco to hold them off. He eats a headshot partially through the wall, which is why he's still alive and not 6 foot under. It does come back in again. Much better by Liquid. And it is going to be their first round, and they only lose Taco in the process.
Yep, well, it all comes off the back of that knife. That's not going to be sustainable to try and knife someone at the start to be drowned, but it's certainly a decent hold with the advantage they had. A 5-on-4 full execution, as you saw from Astralis, very orchestrated. All the grenades, the flashbangs, the Molotov smokes is raining in, and good news for Liquid is they managed to hold it off effectively. Taco gets the kill required and sets up his teammate. And we'll be getting into round number 10, 8-1. Liquid have now lost their loss bonus. So, now the AWP again, plenty of money for Astralis. There's those grenades again. Now we get to see the full power of them. 98 damage inflicted there.
Just pretty much just neutralized.
Yeah, that's pretty much just round over.
Can Astralis stabilize? Shaky start.
Most players, or most teams I should say, would give the AWP to that player now, but I don't think I've ever seen Majors use an AWP, so maybe that's not a thing.
I can't think of one time I've seen him with an AWP either, so yes, I think they're just going to go ahead and hope for the best with him running out and getting some headshots. And, well, he has been the sacrificial lamb, the meat shield, but it pays off. Glaive gets a double, Dupree with one. And looking like Astralis are going to put a quick halt to this comeback.
Yeah, I don't think you can call it a comeback at this point. They have just been reset, and it's going to be 9-1. They do, once again, just have to save whatever weapon they can. They didn't really put up much of a fight there at all. They get down the player that was 2 HP, and that is it. Nothing else picked up. That doesn't really bode well when all they really inflicted was 2 damage when the final execution came in towards B. Like we said, I thought Magis would be holding the backlines, for example, but he was actually a bit of a martyr there. Just goes, you know what, I'll go in first, I'll get the information, you guys spray him down. They got the double kill. Oh, you've got another trick up your sleeve, have you, DreamHack? A swing this time. They had a slide before. I like that. I'll see what else you've got. Yeah, it's going to take a bit more than that to impress me, but I like it. Good creativity. Give you 5 out of 7.
5 out of 7.
There's the double. You can look how blind they are. It's the execution is just spot on, isn't it? They're both trying to watch Monster and Short. It's like, right, it's back to back. Then they both get flashed and they start hugging, knowing what's coming towards them. The bad men are coming, and they spray them down.
There's a comment you said later that sprung to mind, but I'm going to leave that out. I'm pretty sure you know which one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Let's leave that.
Yeah, let's definitely leave that. Far away. That being said, though, Astralis, will they continue to apply the pressure? Is it going to get alleviated at any point? Liquid looked dominant for most of Mirage. Sure, it ended up being 16-14, but that was off the back of Astralis having somewhat of a resurrection. Glaive again. Entry fragging this time with the AK-47. Nitro dies. If he pushes, he should be picked off from the backside, but no, he goes straight out. That flight a bit slow, nearly gets a triple spray down. But instead, Astralis maintained the 2-player advantage, and Twists, not for the first time, has it all to do by himself.
They're going back towards B as well. This to make this even more frustrating, and oh, to be fair, Twist is there. What's the play? He could win this. It's not outside the realms of possibility. Maybe it is now.
You could see a future where he could have potentially clutched that with
he hits that
being
first
so low.
shot, low HP player,
Yep.
funnels him towards A, he reads it, goes back. But no, you're right. This is all fantasy at this point, and they're eco again, Team Liquid. They lost that bonus they had. They're on second stage right now, which means about $1,900 per player, and they'll take a full eco. I'm already thinking about cash.
Agreed.
It doesn't seem like Liquid are quite ready in terms of this current complexion of the team. With Taco just coming in, it doesn't seem like Overpass is something they've done a ton of work on.
Shows again why the desk and yourself mentioned it was so vitally important that Liquid held on to their lead and converted on Mirage, because we knew this would be a difficult task. And so far it's proved to be that, and then some. This round is looking like a gimme for Astralis.
Yes. Deagles, PD50s, Silas USPs.
Elige is going to try and take the initiative with his Desert Eagle. Has the smoke to at least cordon off one side of bathroom. He can focus on short. Is this the moment where Liquid start to salvage Overpass? Not likely. Glaive through one to short. Is going to be met with 3 Liquid players. One of which is Taco, who's tagged down to 42. Now fly on the barrels, and Twist just behind Taco. And it is a complete bloodbath. It's too easy for Astralis against the USPs. And another round will go to the Danes. Alicia's Deagle is going to find Xipex's head, but whether they can get their hands on that weapon is an entirely different question altogether. And I think the Mouse has just answered it. Dupree with a headshot. Astralis will move 11-1 in the lead.
Absolutely well, Vince. Nitro, nothing to do in this round. They're going to have $2,400 coming into the next one. They're all sat around 2K right now. Nitro a bit more, so we can bring out that AWP again. But he's currently sat on 3 kills after 12 rounds. It's far from ideal, I'll say that much. And as he tries to get anything he can here. Wall bang, bit desperate towards the end. He'll keep that Deagle by the looks of things. Nope, not even that. Down he goes, and Astralis 11, Team Liquid 1. Cash is the third and decided map, and I might be getting a bit ahead of myself, but I feel like that's where we're going to be going. Pause will come in from Nitro.
I feel like most people would agree with you on that. That Cash is certainly in the back of Liquid and Astralis' mind too. Of course, they're going to focus as much as they can on Overpass, but at this point, do they just try and conserve their energy for Cash? Because it kind of seems fruitless to.
The thing is, Astralis just look too drilled in this map. They run a real solid default. All 5 players survive. They push the CDs back. Execute perfectly. They've been known for great executes on Overpass for the longest of time. And once they do execute, unfortunately, Team Liquid, there's no reaction coming through. They're not pushing off towards short and denying that execute. They're not getting any sort of map control. They maybe push towards short, challenge connector, at least bring it to either 4-on-4, try and get the man advantage, just so Astralis don't have all 5 players to go for everything they want. You've got to stop something. That's why you see so many teams go aggressive on the CT side, because they know how powerful the TXQs can be in this map. But Team Liquid just don't seem to have anything left in the tank at this point. 11-4 would still be possible, don't get me wrong, but I'm not believing they'll get the next 3 rounds. Either way, Astralis will have a look at their setup. Looks like it'll be a BXQ this time. We'll see if Nafly, he's actually pushing offshore this time, trying to gain some of that map control I just talked about. They've had a timeout, they've discussed what they have to do. Zeus seems to think this is the part of the map they need.
That play from Nitro is quite telling too. It looked like he wanted to peek Fountain, then second-guessed himself, tossed out the smoke, and kind of moved forward, then decided against it. He's clearly just not feeling too confident right now. Twist has been bulldozed down by Majis. There's a flashbang, and for a moment there, Taco's eyes would have lit up because everybody was stacked on top of each other. That spray could have claimed multiple lives. Instead, it's just one. And it's been counteracted instantly from Astralis, who are now 3-2 in the lead in terms of men.
Yeah, what's the play here? Less than a minute, and Nitro and Elige will stick together for now. And A is completely open, Vince. Obviously, Astralis don't know that. Nitro needs to consider his options now. He feels like it's all a little bit too quiet. And he'll start to rotate towards the A site. Will he make it there in time? The thing is, if 2 smokes go down right now, they're going towards CD spawn and towards bank. That is round over. There is no way they will recover this round. Elige is in towards a connector. Nitro there in time. No smokes just yet. He can actually peek just in time. Gives away his position. There's a Molotov and the smoke coming in, but Elige, that's enough for him to get a frag in the back. All of a sudden, this looks possible.
Bomb has been planted.
Bomb planted on the truck. Dupree's going to use that smoke for safety. Glaive very low. The health actually favors Liquid. They don't have a kit, and they don't have nades, but Elige has kills. This is now gone from potential to likely in favor of Liquid. Glaive's going to get taken down, and Liquid do strike for their second round.
There There it is. Maybe Astralis overthinking the scenario. They managed to get 3 kills in B. Took so long getting back towards A. It's got awkward. And like I said, if they didn't drop those smokes real quick and before they got to the site, I feel like they'd be struggling. And indeed they were. Nitro gets a chance to pull the trigger of a shot. They panic a bit. Alige comes in from the connector and he finds 1 kill. It makes things very uncomfortable indeed. Astralis will be fine with this though. They're still 11-2 up, and knowing they still have plenty of cash they can buy into this round. Round number 14, that is, in the second map.
Henry, at the corner of my eye, just saw a PP Bison picked up.
The worst weapon in the entire game.
Literally the worst weapon. Why has that happened?
Why is it on that? Well, might be guns available now. 3 deaths occurring towards middle. Luckily, Liquid get 2 of them. The PP Bison. I have not seen that in a professional match in a very long time. Against Glocks, no armor? Sure, you can get some kills. Is he going to get anything, though, with this position, the one-and-done spot? I assume he has the AWP backing him up. It's actually Nitro with the AWP at B. Nafly is by himself with the Bison. I hope we get to see it. Will we get to see what's available? If he gets a kill, I'm going to be happy.
64 bullets of salt and misery. If you're on the receiving end of it, let's see. It's not going to happen, mate. Not that.
No. Then it's like, he's got a Bison. I know that sound anywhere. Get him! Well, he luckily gets away with his life, still with that weapon in his hand. He hasn't got a skin for it. That's got to be a mispurchase. I don't think
I would have
there's
to
any strategy
so.
Behind that.
Yeah. He could afford a UMP. He could have afforded an MP7,
yeah.
an MP9. These are all weapons that are typically picked over. A shotgun even.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many options. So, yeah, I assume this is a miss buy. We'll have to see if it ends up costing them, though. Sub 30 seconds left. Astralis have got to get a shimmy on towards B. Nitro watching from Graffiti with his AWP. This could be a moment for him to strike. 4 and 7. A topsy-turvy performance today for Nitro. Phenomenal on the first map. Not so much here on Overpass. Glaive lands the headshot. The Bison is still in play. Zipex takes it off the table. It will have no success today. Taco, up in heaven, needs to go for it. That's a beautiful headshot onto Glaive. This now puts it in the realms of possibility, but Device is making sure that any dreams have been swept aside. He does take an AWP shot through the boxes, but they are just wasting valuable time that Nitro cannot afford to lose. And so he's out.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I'm not sure the Bison was the main reason there. It certainly didn't help. Maybe we could have got 1 kill for Nafly if he had this FAMAS or something, or even the UMP. An absolutely useless SMG brought out, missed by, and maybe this summarizes this nightmare of a half that they've been having. 12-2 comes in. Reset as well on the final round. They'll have about $2,000 per player. They do save the AWP, so not all is lost, but most of it. As we go into what should be a 13-2 scoreline for Astralis here. The Great Danes bouncing back from their misery on Mirage at the 5-on-2 advantage to take themselves to overtime. They threw that round away, but they don't seem phased. They seem poised to take us to cash here.
Speaking of phase, of course, they also dipped out 0-2 earlier today. So the loser of this is going to be in a similar shape, but Taco is taking a lot of damage through on Monster. 16 health remaining, UMP in hands. Lackluster buy at best in the final round of the half. Does include the AWP. There has been a reoccurring theme that Nitro's just not really had too many opportunities, really starved by Astralis, who've played very well around him. Nafly, in the meanwhile, with the CZ, is able to get a frag for himself and trade across for an AK-47. They needed Taco to hold on for at least 1 kill. Now Dupree's going to try and open up. The AK now used against the terrorists. 50 seconds left, and Astralis have just got to go for broke. They've got to go all in on this push. Nafly with a 2nd kill with his AK. Live by it, die by it. Glaive with 1, 3 more to find. Doesn't have the bomb, however. This about as difficult a situation as it gets. No reason for Liquid to move. There's not even really enough time for Glaive to go all the way around the back and get into heaven, so they know he's going to have to come from short or Monster, and Nafly will seal the deal of the half. But it's 12-3. Is that enough?
I'm not sure. they look uncomfortable on Overpass. And it's a CT-sided map. 3 rounds picked up, and I think they were, what, was it 8-0 down before the first round came in for Liquid there, and then they got one away at the end. It was scrappy, and you have to remember, what are those rounds? Astralis, it felt like they maybe overthought their play. They had about the 4-on-3 advantage, I think 4-on-2, I'm not sure. Either way, they rotated all the way around, and it got very awkward very quickly. But yes, Liquid at least give themselves a fighting chance here. It's not completely open shut case. We can see if Liquid win the pistol here, there's no reason why they can't do that. It'll just take some disastrous rounds from Astralis, them to sabotage their own finances.
That's it on the CT side. There's always that question mark. There's always that air of uncertainty that if you do get broken a couple times and the comeback really can come into fruition. It's basically what happened to Liquid throughout that half. They just constantly were in these half buys, and then they had a couple of warps and then CZs alongside them. Never really able to get any momentum. And as you say, it's all built off the back of this pistol.
Off we go then. Round number 1 of the second half. There will be smokes, HE's flashbangs available for Team Liquid here. Nitro throws the first smoke. They'll be going in towards the site itself, and he'll be flashing his teammates in. A simple approach, 1 smoke, 1 flash. Flash quite effective though. Zipex with the CZ looking to gun them down as they go for the plant here. Will he have the audacity to try and deny completely? He does. A little bit too late to get the deep to stop the plant going down, but they've got a 5-on-2 regardless.
Leaves is trying to put bullets to faces. He's got one of them, but unfortunately all the damage was done as soon as that bomb was planted. It all started with the Zipex peek into the CZ. 2 more players from his side got kills, jumping on top of each other's heads while they defuse, but that's going to be Astralis in prime position to just outright take this with ease.
I think you might be right there. Astralis 13, Team Liquid 3. Even with the bomb being planted there, Liquid got a force buy here in the second round, Vince. So that's a little bit against the grain of what we would expect. Usually you take a full eco now and get the AKs and the third, but I guess Team Liquid have got no time to waste. They want to try and bounce back straight away. And that SMG focus from Astralis, again, this could be something that works for Liquid. I do like the approach they're bringing, but Glaive with the only rifle goes find the first kill. Not the same story for Device.
Overwhelmed. This force buy may have caught them unawares a little bit with the aggression behind it. However, even though Device has met his demise, doesn't make a great deal of difference if Astralis can just set up shop. In these crossfires, Dupree, it was a laboured spray, but he got there in the end. 24 health remaining. Magiska's heard a lot of noise and will convert it to 1 headshot. There's Glaive with the second. Being the bodyguard with the M4A4. Taco, bomb in hand, Deagle. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Taco will presumably be taken down, not before he gets a little headshot there. That's the bomb on his back and $300 in his back pocket. We'll see if we can get anything more done here. It'd all be a little bit in vain at this point, but you never know. Get a kill, find a rifle, if we can save that, that's something. But time ticking away up against 2 MP9s and the M4A4 of Glaive.
I suppose in the mind of Liquid, what we kind of touched on before with one of the ways of coming back, one of the keys to making that a success is dwindling down the economy of Astralis. So maybe if Taco could have landed another shot, forced another replenished weapon in Kevlar, that's their way back in, but
sure,
wasn't to be the case.
So now do they force again? They're 14-3 down. Or do they allow Astralis to get to map point? We had this question earlier, didn't we? This one is, I think you just have to force. You can't really try and convince yourself you're going to win 12 rounds in a row, can you?
Exactly.
So I think you do have to buy. And Zeus is not giving up yet. He's a passionate man himself. Wants to give the instructions out what he thinks is the key to victory here. They'll have 4 CZs, a UMP, and just trying to deny match points, or map point I should say, the best they can. The opposite to stay on the Deagle here. So pistols will collide. MP9 for Zipex as we get into round number 18 here. Could be one of the fastest maps of the day.
Has been a bit of a blowout map for sure. I think Cash is going to be much more interesting. circumstance, but Device in the meanwhile getting flashed multiple times, has to just turn tail and run away. Fortunately, Glaive is there, peering from Connector. The spray's on point. He's not missing many bullets here, but finally Taco gets a second with the CZ. He's getting kills, but they're not super impactful. Oh, there's a third, but only 4 health remaining. Zipex and Dupree are in hot pursuit. They're both 100 health, and Taco's on 0. 12 map points for Astralis to take us to cash.
15-3. Have to force again, that goes without saying, and I think we'll be preparing ourselves for map number 3, maybe saving our vocal cords, as we'll see whether Team Liquid can do anything with this one. I'm not sure. I would, if I'm the in-game leader of this team, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to be preparing my mental state and the energy of the team perhaps for the next map. We can finish things off. I think we have the advantage on cash almost, but here we go. We'll see whether there's anything available to them. Maybe not. Now fly tagged up through the playground. 5 on 4. We'll see if there's any sort of mistakes made by Astralis to give a kill over.
Smoke is going to force Team Liquid's hand to go through there by and large blind. Magisk propped up in the perfect position. Device has the left-hand side covered, so Magisk knows he can just focus fire right down the short alleyway towards the steps. Device finally gets the kill onto Nitro. Magisk has fallen down, but it's a 2-on-4. Although an M4 has traded hands to the terrorists, and Taco is lurking in Connector. Ultimately, it's just Delaney. Nevertheless does land a headshot to Dupree, wildly firing through the wall. One of them finally stuck and twists. 1 on 3. Otherwise, we go to the third map. There's the first.
Good crosshair placement.
They're even assuming that you'd be crouched on the approach, but Glaive's going to do it. A bit of a blowout map, but now we're heading towards Cash, where things get a little bit more interesting.
Everyone always remembers the epic third map of any great game. So that's what we're hoping for here. We think Cash is going to be quite equally matched. You've got Team Liquid who are very well versed in it, but they have got some holes to plug with Taka coming in. And you've got Astralis who are quite streaky on Cash, but obviously have their roster they're very comfortable with at this point. So I feel like this third map will be where the excitement comes to a head, and we're going to see an epic clash on Cash. Vince, are you excited? You look it.
I'm absolutely knackered, to be honest, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping Cash delivers. I enjoyed the first map. Let's hope the final one is a belter as well.
Well, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with that exciting finish to this exciting series.
The Digital Pass, your exclusive way to explore